Hey everybody, this is Bridget Mack and you're watching Life Made Easier. Today's topic is casual dating, celibacy. Yes, no, maybe. What are your thoughts? First of all, I'm gonna have to direct this tutorial and say that this is coming from a believer's point of view. As a Christian, I feel like all of the decisions that we make in life, whether it's about job, home, relationship, family, you have to seek God first in a lot of things. And the mindset when it comes to relationships today is the standard is so doggone low. The focus is wrong. You know, when people look at a potential spouse, they are looking in the wrong areas. It saddens me to know that so many people feel like you have to sleep around first before you settle down. I mean, I hear a lot of people say that I know that God is going to send me the right person, but I still need to try that person out or date other people just to make sure. And that's not a person who's speaking on faith or who has total trust in God. That's not the way that it works. When God sends you something, you know, I'm just crazy enough to believe that He's going to send you somebody that's going to satisfy your needs in all areas. And to tell you the truth, I'm glad I didn't do it my way, because my husband and I didn't like each other when we first met. I mean, I didn't like him. I thought he was arrogant and rude, and he said that I had too much mouth and was always talking, and he just kept me nervous. But after a while, he was looking kind of hurt. You know, he was hurt. You know, I would have never guessed in a kabillion years that I would have married Travis Mack, and I know that he wouldn't have never thought that he would marry Bridget. I mean, we were just two totally different people. The thing about it is, when it comes to dating in today's time, people are so busy trying to figure out what that person is like in bed that they don't really get a chance to know that person as a whole. What are your career goals? You know, what do you want to do with yourself? What is your family like? What are your deepest fears? What are your hidden secrets? You know, how many people do you have any baby mamas? How many baby mamas do you have? How many kids out there have you not talked to Dana about? Has Dana confirmed that all 10, 12, 11, 20, 45, 50 children of these are yours? With all the child support that's coming out your check, will you be able to pay the light bill if we were to get married? Those are some things that you really want to know. But then, no, we get so caught up on, oh, but he's so sexy, he smells so good, he's so good in bed. After a while, it does not matter. If he can't pay them bills, it don't matter how good in bed, because being good in bed ain't going to pay your bills. Being good in bed is not going to be able to get you a new house or a new car or be able to take you on vacation. Being good in bed may mean that he wants to try out other women. So sometimes being good in bed, you know, when you're in sin, let me say this, because when God gives you somebody, He gonna make sure that you covered in all areas and all this other stuff. People used to pose this question: how do you know that your husband is what you need or what you like? I'm liking what I'm getting so far, so I'm good. If it gets any better, I probably couldn't take it. So just leave me where I'm at. I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy. Hey, a couple of weeks ago, I posed this question on my Facebook page, and I got back some pretty good comments. Let's check them out and see what they had to say. And I have my children here in the room, so I may have to use some of the words, you know, speed this out. So, okay, she's walking out of the room, so we can go back to talking. All right, but these are some of the comments that people made when I posed that question. Molly, this is her comment. I like her comment. She said, I don't think it's so much about dating as it is waiting for who God has for you. That said, I believe we can date, but we must be careful. For me, if a man is not serious about God, then I won't go out with him. I refuse to be unevenly yoked. Even in dating, we have to be careful about who we allow ourselves to be with. And then we have to watch out for issues of the flesh. So she was saying that she thinks it's okay to date. And the reality of it is, you probably are not going to meet Mr. Right the first time around. I'm on the fence about that, because I'm like, okay, well, God, if we wait on you, then I am more prone to believe that you will send us Mr. Right the first time around. But the reality, I mean, Travis was my first boyfriend, and I was not his first girlfriend. So, you know, a lot of the times we meet Mr. Wrong and Mrs. Right because we step out on our own. But I can understand where she's coming from. Alicia says this: I believe casual dating, whomever, whenever, is wrong. Many need to get back to courting, which is finding or waiting on the person God has for you and seeing them with the sole purpose of entering into the institution of marriage. Now, many of you probably would not agree with Alicia on that one, but I do. I don't understand people dating a person just to be dating them. Because if you have no intentions on marrying this person or getting married, period, how do you handle the issues of the flesh? You're dating this man, you're dating this woman, y'all are spending a lot of time together, you're laughing, you're talking, you're really getting to know each other, but there are a lot of people that are finding themselves to be attracted and in a lot of cases in love with these people, but they don't want to get married. So how do you say that you're going to continue to see this person and remain celibate as a believer? Because some non-believers are saying, okay, well, I'm gonna just do it, But I mean, how do you do that? And the purpose of dating is to get to know this person who could become your soulmate. So I really don't understand that mindset when I'm talking to you and I'm dating you and I'm hanging out with you and I'm investing my time in you, is because I'm hoping that we can pursue something that can be forever or to death do us part. I don't want to waste my time hanging around or being with somebody, that I have no intentions on marrying or spending the rest of my life with, because in the meantime, Mr. Right could be floating right on by. Lisa said this, it's going to be answered differently depending on age and if you are a Christian or not. If you asked me a few years ago, I would have told you casual dating. I got to try out the product until I found the right one. I told you some people thought that. But at this stage in my life, Lisa says, I believe if you pray and ask God, you can bypass all the headache casual dating can bring. I wish I knew that now. I knew that then what I know now. And she puts exclamation point. And I think a lot of people forget that. They forget that there are so many headaches that comes to that because you are attaching yourselves to all of these people. And I know a lot of friend girls who tell me I have a hard time not comparing him to him and him to him. He has this quality and he has this quality, and I wish I can just make this one perfect guy. But the reality is there is no such thing as the one perfect guy or the one perfect woman. We are all going to come with perfections and imperfections. That's why the vows say for better or for worse. I'm pretty sure there are some things that Travis would like to change about me, although I'm pretty sure there's not that much. Physically lying to myself, it's a lot. But anyway, Dorothy comes through and she says this, I know casual dating is wrong now, but if you would have asked me that question in the early 80s, I would have told you yes. I could never find that it was all right to date in the Bible. Every person in the Bible came together and got married, which is true. I have to go with the word of God. If it's not okay with God, and it should not be okay with believers, we should boldly tell the truth. Wait until after marriage. A lot of people don't do that anymore. And date each other all you want, keeping the fire burning in the relationship so that it will last as long as you keep God in the middle of it. Do it God's way and it will last. I understand where she's coming from. Of course, there's got to be some level of dating to get to the point that you want to marry. But a lot of times people want to date for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 years before they get married. And then they get married and then 7 months later they get a divorce. I just don't understand that. But it is important. My husband and I were engaged for a year before we actually got married, and that was because we were so young. Now my siblings, all 2 of my sisters and my brother, I think they met, dated, got engaged, and were married within that first year. And they are all, with the exception of my sister who passed on to go to heaven, she was married to her husband for nearly 11 years. They all are still together to this day. It's not ideal to date for a long time, especially if you know that this person is the one, because issues with the flesh is going to come into play and you're going to find yourself in a bed of trouble. Now, the last comment I got was from Belinda, who says, spending time getting to know myself and God would be my focus. We need to appreciate and be comfortable with being by ourselves, and God will send the right one along. The right one will be okay when I tell him I am celibate until I get married. Now, if bro man say, baby, it's just that I love you, I just want to show you how much I love you, then I'm gonna be like, well, marry me then. If he can't wait, then you do need to run. Yes, we need to court to get to know people. and courting does not require sex. That is something that I think 80% of the population has forgotten in this day and time. They feel like it's not a relationship if you're not having premarital fornication. We're just going to go ahead and call it what it is. It's not sex. It's not making love. It is making sin. Okay, we're going to go ahead and be honest on that one. So if he or she, for some of us females, we can be a pistol. It's not okay with waiting until you all get married. Then that's when you need to run. And then there are those that count that as a challenge because they want to see how long it'll take before they break you down. So you have to be careful with that because you do have some men that will play that role of, oh yes, I want to get to know Jesus too, baby. I go to church with you and everything, baby, and all of that stuff. And then everything else that he does is totally opposite of what the preacher and what the Bible says. You have to use wisdom on that because the Bible tells you to be careful of wolves in sheep's clothing. Love is not based on color, it's not based on size, it's not based on how much money you have in the bank. It's based on what you have on the inside. And when a person has God on the inside of them and they're the person that God created for you, there is nothing that they don't have that won't be satisfying to your particular need. God knows what your needs are as a woman and as a man. So when he has that person for you, when you come together, everything that you need as a whole is going to come into place. But you have to trust God. People try to do God's job. Okay, he may be it, but let me go ahead and sleep with him. Let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and do that. When you trust God completely, you know that he's going to give you the whole package. You're going to grow together. Every person's going to have issues, and there are issues with him that you may not like that he may not develop until a few years later. But the fact about it is God gave you him so that y'all can grow together. You have something that he needs and he has something that you need. So when it comes to casual dating, just to be saying I'm going to date him and I'm going to date him and I'm going to date him in order to find who the right person is, no, I'm not for it at all. Trust God. The Bible said a man who findeth a wife finds a good thing. So females, you focus on being you. You get to know you. You get to get closer to God. You focus on your career. You focus on growing. Men, you focus on you too. You focus on becoming that man of God that God has ordained you to be. Be strong in the Lord. Work towards your career. Get your education. Buy that house. Get that car. Get yourself financially stable. And while you're busy doing that, one day you're going to look up and there's she's going to be and there he's going to be. Interested to hear what your comments are going to be? Let me know. And I hope you all enjoyed. This is Bridget Mack. You've been watching Life Made Easier. You have a blessed day now. Bye-bye.